Hi, I'm Anna, and today I want to tell you a story. It's about my very first day at university. A day full of nerves, quiet bravery, small moments, and big feelings. If you've ever felt unsure, if you've ever started something new, then this story is for you. So come sit with me. Make a cup of tea. Let me tell you what really happened, the day everything changed. The morning sky was still dark, not black, just soft gray. My room was quiet. My suitcase was by the door, zipped up tight. Inside were books, sweaters, socks, shampoo, and fear. My mom stood in the kitchen making toast. My dad was reading the newspaper, but not really. My little brother sat at the table, kicking his legs and staring at me. No one said much, because saying goodbye is hard. When it was time to leave, my mom gave me a tight hug. My dad put his hand on my shoulder. "We're proud of you," he said. I smiled, but it felt shaky. "Don't cry," I told myself. Not yet. As the taxi pulled away, I looked out the window and waved. My home got smaller and smaller until it was gone. The taxi ride felt long. Maybe it wasn't, but in my head, it was full of questions. Will I make friends? Will I understand the classes? Will I get lost? Will I miss home too much? I held my backpack on my lap. Inside was a notebook, some pens, my student ID, and a photo of my family. The driver looked at me through the mirror. "First day?" he asked. I nodded. He smiled kindly. "You'll be fine," he said. Everyone feels nervous at first. The taxi stopped in front of a large gate. A sign said, "Welcome to Eastwood University." I stepped out. The air smelled like fresh grass and coffee. People were everywhere. Students, parents, staff, all walking in different directions. Some were laughing. Some were crying. Some looked lost. I guess I looked lost too. I found the check-in desk. A woman gave me a map, my dorm room key, and a bright smile. "Good luck," she said. "You're going to love it here." Room 206, second floor, north building. I climbed the stairs slowly. My suitcase bumped against each step. By the time I reached the room, I was sweating and out of breath. I unlocked the door. Inside were 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 closets. Only one side was taken. The other side was mine. I unpacked slowly, put my books on the shelf, taped my photo to the wall, sat on the bed, and stared at nothing. My roommate wasn't there yet. The room felt empty. The silence was loud. A few hours later, the door opened. A girl walked in with bright eyes and a huge duffel bag. "Hey," she said. "You must be Anna. I'm Layla, your roommate." She had curly hair, loud sneakers, and a kind voice. We shook hands. Then she dropped her bag, looked around, and said, "Wow, this is real, huh?" I smiled for the first time that day. Layla talked a lot. About her dog, about her favorite K-drama, about her fear of cafeteria food. And I listened and laughed. And slowly, very slowly, my nerves began to fade. At 3 p.m., we went to orientation. There were hundreds of new students in the hall. We sat on folding chairs and listened to the dean of students. "Welcome," she said into the microphone. "This is the beginning of your journey." She talked about classes, about clubs, about health services, about being kind and being open. I looked around. Everyone looked so confident, But maybe they were scared too. When the dean finished, we clapped. Not loudly, just enough to say, "Okay, let's begin." Layla and I walked to the student cafeteria together. The air smelled like rice, chicken, soup, and something sweet. I looked at the trays, the choices. Too many, too fast. I picked a sandwich and apple juice. Layla chose pasta. We sat by a window. "Do you miss home?" she asked. I nodded. "Me too," she said. "But we've got each other now." We clinked our apple juice boxes together like a toast and ate. At 4 p.m., I had my first real class, English composition, room B204. Layla walked with me halfway, then waved goodbye. I checked the map, turned right, then left, then right again. Nothing looked familiar. I felt lost. I stopped near a bench and looked around. Then a voice. "Hey, are you looking for B204? A girl with glasses stood beside me. "Yeah," I said. "I'm heading there too. Come with me." Her name was Mira. She was quiet but nice, and I was glad she found me. Room B204 was small but bright. Desks in rows, a whiteboard, posters of books and authors. The teacher walked in, Ms. Carter. She wore a red scarf and a smile. "Hello, class," she said. "Welcome to your first college class." She didn't start with homework. She didn't shout. She just asked, "What's one thing you hope to learn this year?" We took turns. Some said writing skills. Some said confidence. When it was my turn, I said, "I want to learn how to speak up." Ms. Carter looked at me and nodded. "That's a brave answer," she said, and I felt seen. By the time I got back to the dorm, the sun was low. The hallway was quiet. Our room was warm. Lila was sitting on her bed reading a book. She looked up and smiled. "How was it?" "Better than I expected," I said. "Same," she laughed. I changed into pajamas, made tea, and sat on the bed. I opened my notebook, wrote one sentence. "I survived the first day." Then added, "And maybe, just maybe, I can do this." So that was my first day at university. Not perfect, not easy, but real. And sometimes real is more than enough. Thank you for listening to my story. If you liked it, I made something for you. A free PDF with today's new words, simple English examples, and real-life phrases you can use. You'll find the link below this video. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you want more stories like this. And tell me, what kind of story would you like next? A rainy study day? A weekend trip with friends? A library love story? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. See you next time. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Bye for now. Keep learning, little by little.